recently, there has been an influx of port-ready aircraft into FS 2024 from FS 2020 and other previous sims. And I'm certainly here for it. It allows pre-existing users to fly aircraft that they once loved. In the sim, I personally don't understand why Asobo did what they did as far as aircraft compatibility, but hey, devs are getting over it, and I love to see that. Today's aircraft is one of those aircraft. So without further ado, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to FS 2024, and welcome back to the, I know, it's a 172, shut up. Welcome back to the Reams Cessna 172. Now, not just any standard Cessna 172. This is one of the best modeled Cessna 172s I've flown in a sim, and it's free. Mind blown, right? A free, good, high fidelity. This blows the standard 172 in the game out of the I almost said out of the model. Out of the water. Blows it out of the water. And we're going to take a look at it here today. Giving it the standard sample treatment, taking a look first and foremost at the textures, listening to the sounds on this aircraft, seeing how well they carry over from FS 2020, and then of course getting this aircraft and the Reams rocket variant, and maybe even the amphib. There's 3 different versions of this aircraft up in the air and out and about for a flight. We're in Nunwalek, I think I pronounced that right, in Alaska, and we'll hit other locations. So without further ado, let's get crazy with it. Let's begin. So straight away you can see I've got a lot of ground support equipment. I've got my tie downs, I've got a GPU, I've got my engine covers. So this is a good aircraft as far as ground support equipment goes. Looks like we've got an updated light fixture there with that little honeycomb design. And this is the classic, like the 1950s era 172. So there's no wing-mounted taxi landing lights. They're all in the cowl of the aircraft. Those of you who didn't know, older 172s had in the nose as a tip-off, I think, from the Cessna A150, or the 150. The A150 was the aerobatic version. I've got my twin cockpit windows here. Those are optional. You can turn those on or off via a settings menu, the same menu where I have the chocks, ground, and other ground support equipment in place. As far as textures go, let's start taking a look at that. Gosh dang. Would you look at them rivets? Gosh dang. That is... I don't want to use the word overkill. These have to be like 4K textures. This is insanely good. Look at that. Now, does it carry through the entire aircraft? The livery we're going to let go because you can change up livery. So like this screw, no, that's about the same. It's, wow. I am pleasantly surprised. I was expecting this to be essentially just a port over from FS 2020, but they definitely, unless the original Reams rocket was at a totally different computer build at the time, unless the original Reams rocket had this good of detail, which is possible. A little bit of an issue with the polygons on this inspection port. Maybe it's texture that's doing that, because the one next to it looks okay. It looks relatively round. It's not perfect, but it's alright. Again, we're going to let the bleed over of the livery into the nav light area go. Nav light itself looks a little bit odd, but it's made up for by this beautifully modeled flashbulb type strobe. Not, perfect, but at, I'd say, this distance, you're golden. Got your classic static wicks. Again, really high detail. These, those of you who've done flight school, do you, or have you, or anyone you know, hit your head on these? I might have. Leaves a nice diamond, and you can't lie, because when you're doing your pre-flight, you leave one aileron in the up position and one in the down, and if you're not paying attention and you duck to the normal height to clear the trail edge of the wing and this aileron is down, you hit your head. Anyway, moving on from that, I did not look at the main or nose landing gear, and well, they look wonderful, don't they? No not texturing. There is texturing. There's even little bits of paint flake and all that on the main wheel. I like to see my aircraft looking somewhat used. Those of you who've been around for a while know that. Got our exhaust pipe there. Do we have any engine detail? Because I remember, or maybe I don't remember correctly. I thought the old Reams rocket had a modeled engine. Maybe not. It might just be what you can see from the front end. Let me go inside really quick. Let me go inside really quick. Let me go inside really quick. There we go. And get rid of the covers, chocks, and the tie downs. And we'll re-egress outside. Don't worry, we'll get to the cockpit. But yeah, it's just what you can see from the forward edge there. Interestingly enough, and I don't know if it's how the Reams 172 is set up, because it's not your standard, what is it, the Lycoming engine in the Cessna 172s. There's no cooling fins visible. You know, if you think of your standard 172, you've got the cooling fins. This belt here is correct for the 172, but there's no cooling fins, just a big open front design, so you'll have to let me know in the comments down below. Could use a little more detail on the brake assembly, the rotor being made out of the same material as the bracket for the caliper. Not a huge fan of that, at least visually looking that way. But all in all, it's pretty good. I can't open that rear baggage door, at least from that little menu. We might be able to click around inside and do it that way. Good detail on the supports for the rudder, and not supports, but the actuators for the rudder, as well as in the tail mechanism. You can really see some good detail there. Coming up high, we've got our flashing beacon. At least it should be a flashing beacon based on the bulb type that's installed there. And then our navigation light. We've got our classic not VHF, VOR? Yeah, these are VOR antennas, aren't they? Because you've got left and right. It tells you the your offset, or is that localized? I don't know. I don't know my antennas anymore. These are VHF antennas. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, my knowledge, my aviation knowledge is gone. You use it or you lose it. It couldn't be true. What's going on with these? Why are these all rainbowy? All right. Well, there's a potential graphical glitch, but let that go. Let's hop inside of the Reams rocket. State saving is an option. You can see there's oh, excuse you. I wasn't ready. I'd like to reopen my door, please. Thank you. So quite a bit in this. I've got the control column hidden right now. Big chonker. Looks like the Duke controller off of the original Xbox. You've got your checklists here, your standards, your emergencies, and references to use, previous and next buttons, should you so choose them, and then you can go back to the index. You already saw the little manual that I popped out here. Look at that! Onboard, meaning there, on screen. Does that mean I get like a compass on the screen? Oh, on the windscreen. Okay, I like that better. Flight director, can we do... Ooh, a Garmin. We'll go with the HSI. We like that. Artificial Horizon. So you can upgrade to the Garmin system there too. Optional instruments, an angle of attack indicator. I think that's this guy sitting up here. Let's ditch that. We're in a 172. We're fine. Panel cover. Is that just a sunshade? Oh no, it's the little visual cover like you got on the old 172s. I love that. I love that. I've seen these in like a cream color. No, I love that. That's fantastic. And then you've got several different options for the radios. You've got your simple VFR stack, which gets rid of a lot of stuff. Your full radios, which has all of your navigational equipment, as well as I think your autopilot. Nope, autopilot's still there. It adds a second radio, which is a requirement for IFR. What else are you adding? Oh, the ADF. And then you can set a Bendix, what is this, a Bendix King unit? Yeah, Bendix King. I don't know what the KLN90B is. I And I guess there's a package I would need to download. And then you've got your standard GNS 430 from Garmin, and then if you've got the GTN 750 or the 750XI, you can use that as well. But we're gonna stick with the old school design here. Look at this, you got different seats. Let's put some flight cases in there, and let's do some tanks in the back. Can I see those? Get rid of the back seats. Look at that. That's so cool. So let's offload those. Ooh, what if I do a camping set? Look at that. So there's obviously lots of customization as far as your cargo goes. You can set the aircraft up for skydiving, which removes essentially everything except for this seat here, and then your this is wonderful. I love this. So let's go empty, and let's do back seats. Let's make the co-pilot visible. Do I have an issue with my pilot being here? No, I don't. Let's put some passengers in the back. I'll just make this a simple flight of 4 people, and I think that is all for the book. Down here, I have my little tablet, so I have a selection of maps. I always use the VFR map, but if you're flying in the UK, there's an option there. Is CH China? I'm so sorry. And then there's OpenStreetMap as well if you want to use that. But this is what I always choose. VFR map. It's what I use when I'm flying in the sim if I need frequencies or something like that. So it's very cool to have this set up ready to go on an in-game tablet where I don't have to click around. I can just quickly search up airport information and go from there. Hide it if I want. There's an ice scraper. Stop. So if you get icing and you need to scrape the ice off, you can do that. That's very cool. Okay, let's do a quick look at the textures of the cockpit, because I'm getting geared up and fired up to want to fly this thing. I like the reflections and how they move. They're static reflections, but they do move based on your azimuth. I like that. Everything here looks fine. There's nothing here that stands out to me as glaringly problematic or bad. We're just going to quickly glance over this with the existing cockpit that we've got here. I'm not going to change out the radios or anything. There's a cowl flap. I thought there was a cowl flap. Trim wheel. And then we looked at the back seat already. And there's some luggage. So, very cool. Alright. Doors shut. Let's run through a startup in the Reims Cessna 172. Now, I don't know if this aircraft is simulated as carbureted or not. That's the one thing I don't know. So we're going to start it as though it were a carbureted aircraft first. And if that doesn't work, then we'll assume it's fuel injected, and we'll go that route. I guess really quick, let's take a look at the lighting suite externally here. This being a 2020 aircraft, I expect it to be good, and it is. It's very good. Look at them bright lights. What in the heck are you doing, Asobo? Get your stuff together. Why does this Cessna 172, which I can get for free, have better lighting than your aircraft? Look at that. Even the beacon's visible during the day. Fantastic. We love that. Alright, let's set to start here. So fuel shutoff is in. We've got the tank set to both. Let's prime here. Do I have a fuel pressure? Fuel flow. Okay. So we did a little crack there. Let's get set to start. Again, we're going to be doing this like it's a carbureted aircraft. First, clear prop. Oh, did you hear that startup? Did you hear that startup? That's amazing. I'll tell you what, boys. This is probably one of the best aircraft that you can get for free, in my opinion. Obviously, right? This is all my opinion, but dang, everything on this sounds good. The soundscape, amazing. The buttons, the clicks, the switches. That's all great, but how does the aircraft handle? That's what we're really here to find out. So let's give this Reims 172 a little bit of power here. On this dirt strip. Oh boy. That's quite the wind whipping there. So we get a good crosswind check in. Go ahead and shut our little window. And I think we're going to start out pointed just a little bit to the right, because we're definitely going to get blown to the left pretty heavily. But let's go for a takeoff. Oh my word, we are. I have to use differential braking. I have to use differential braking. Wow. Okay, we're up, but only just. That is it's going to be a non-advisable takeoff for me. Holy smokes. Let's get turned into the wind so we can start getting some altitude here. Wow. I mean, I guess I should have expected straight line winds like this in the summer to fall transition in Alaska, but holy smokes. I'm willing to bet we could almost darn near fly backwards in this thing. Oh, dude, this is wonderful. We're not going to get a smooth landing in here just simply because of the situation we find ourselves in with the wind. But as far as on the envelope handling, this reminds me exactly of what it was like to fly a 172. Granted, I was in a 172 SP with a G1000, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. Love how the sun glints off of the instruments. No, it's all good. This is all good. We'll get set up for a crosswind. We're not going to safely make it in. Not with the winds whipping the way that they are, but we'll give it a shot here, and then we'll take a look at the Reims rocket, and then we'll also take a look at the amphib. While we're on our downwind here, fighting these winds, the exterior soundscape, also amazing. Sounds, I don't want to say true to life, but it's very close. Look at those waves. We are going to have no choice but to dive it in. We're exceeding our flap speed. Come on, Cessna. Come on, Cessna. Nope, we're dead. Yep, into the water. All right, let's try it out. Let's try out a different aircraft. My gosh. And welcome to Kenmore Air Harbor in I guess it's technically still Seattle. Hey, do you guys remember what I said about the yellow backplate that I've seen on 172s? Well, we have it. It's here, boys. Oh, this is a delight. This is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Let me turn off our, or I guess get rid of our. Where are you? Go, co-pilot and me. No people in the back, and then let's get rid of the anchor here. Throw on my roof windows. You know we gotta throw on roof windows. What would we be without roof windows? Okay, now underway in the Reims 172 amphibian. Let's drop one notch of flaps. Let's bring our water rudders in. Let's bring our water rudders in. There we go. And set to take off here. We should get a little bit of a P factor, but once we increase airspeed, we should be able to overcome that no problem. Do have the AOA indicator on this time. Good clean takeoff from the water. And this handles roughly the same as the other aircraft, although I can definitely feel the weight of those not pylons. What's the word I'm looking for? The floats? The pontoons. There, that's the word. Let's get turned back in here. We'll set up for a water landing here in Kenmore Harbor. Pretty fast. We'll go 1 notch of flaps. I think VFE10 should still be 110 knots on this aircraft. It is. We're inside of the rest of the flap arc now. So we'll dump the rest of our flaps and hope we've got enough artificial water runway here to pack it in. Ooh, that ground effect. A little bit of a rough touch. And I kind of stand by that the water effects do need some work here. But, I mean, they're fine. Like, I'm not gonna boo-hoo this because, ooh, my water effects are a little bit rough, right? Alright, water rudders set, flaps set. Let's go take off one more time. It's time from the outside. Yeah, there's just not a lot of spray. That's it. It's just really not a lot of spray. But other than that, she's fine. Let's go check out the Reams rocket, the 3-bladed, crazy horsepower version of this 172, and then we'll call it for this episode. So for our final aircraft of the day, we're going to look at the Reams rocket, the aircraft that this is largely based on. We've got a 3-bladed propeller, I think 210 horsepower, which in a 172 is quite a bit. This aircraft famously climbed to, I believe it was flight level 13.5, so 13,500 feet, and it was either 18 minutes or 16 minutes, so a relatively fast climb rate. But I wanted to give you guys a chance to look at the lighting at night. Shocker, it's still good. It's still very good. I very much so adore this aircraft. So we're at Cork Aerodrome, in case you're wondering. And let's keep saying let's go fly. All right, brakes. Oh, park brake was on. It's all right. I also wanted to showcase the other. Ooh, you can see my friend Neo Shadows playing a game. That's fun. Showcase the other avionics in this as well. So we do have the 2 Garmin units as well as the GTN 750. I mean, we're at a relatively aggressive climb rate, 2,000 feet per minute, just barely losing airspeed right now. If we climbed for, I know the best angle of climb in the 172, or best climb speed is 74 knots. So if we go for that, let's pitch down for a little bit more here. There's 70, 75, 76, 78, 9. I mean, we're hitting about, I don't know, 1,500-ish feet per minute. I'm not doing the best job of maintaining that airspeed, but you get the idea. This thing, for the name, is an absolute rocket. Rocket. I don't know why I said it like that. And you should check it out, because it's free. It's fantastic. I love it. It's highly, highly customizable for your needs. Or wants, I should say, not necessarily needs. It's a very, very, very good alternative if you want to get into the classic 172 era, or if you want to modernize it, obviously you can do so like we did with our Garmin options here. So, I think that's going to do it for this video. We've drawn it out long enough here, so we're going to go ahead and sign off. But thank you very much for watching this video. I do dearly appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. But until then, as always, take it easy. We're going to try to get her down here. Emphasis on try. Got no flaps in. Break out right. Come back left. This is actually on the 172 POH, in case you didn't know. This is a approved approach here. Sidestep it a little bit. Butter. Straight butter. Alright, guys. Take it easy.